It was this time last year when I reviewed the NVIDIA Shield TV. If you caught that video, and many of you did, I wasn't really that concerned about its streaming capabilities and 4K content. Rather, I was interested in its emulation performance and price. At the time, the unit was being sold for $139, and at that price, it was easily the best emulation device on the market. Nothing else really came close. Everything from PlayStation 1, Nintendo 64, Sega Dreamcast, Sega Saturn, and even GameCube were emulated extremely well. Well, it's 1 year later, and NVIDIA have released an update to the successful 2017 Shield TV. This is the 2019 Shield TV Pro, and we're going to take a look at it on the channel and take a look at the emulation performance and compare it against the 2017 model and see if it's actually worth the price of an upgrade. Today's episode is brought to you by Audible. Audible has the largest selection of audiobooks in the world, including Audible originals which are only available exclusively to the service. And right now, for a limited time, you can get 3 months of Audible for just $6.95 a month, which is more than half off the regular price. This allows you to choose from 1 audiobook and 2 Audible originals absolutely free. Get signed up at audible.com/MVG or text MVG to 500 500. I'm very interested in reading stories about hacking and how things were accomplished, and right now I'm listening to Hacking the Hacker by Roger A. Grimes. Amazing stories about how expert white hats took down hackers in some fascinating ways. Definitely a great listen. With Audible, you can go back and re-listen as much as you want, even if you cancel your membership. The audiobook is yours to keep. I'll leave a link in the description below for that limited time offer of 3 months of Audible for just $6.95 a month. Once again, choose from 1 audiobook and 2 Audible originals absolutely free. Get signed up at audible.com/MVG or text MVG to 500 500. So the Shield TV Pro, you could easily mistake this for the 2017 model because they look exactly the same, although there are some improvements with the 2019 Pro Edition that we need to discuss. The 2019 Shield TV Pro retails for $199. On the side of the box, it mentions that it's using the newer NVIDIA Tegra X1 Plus. Now this is an upgrade from the Tegra X1 found in the 2017 Shield TV. But let's be clear, the Tegra X1 Plus is just another name for the newer Marico revision. The 2019 Shield TV Pro claims to be 25% faster than the 2017 Shield TV, and we are going to put this to the test and see if this claim is actually true. Opening up the box, you get the unit, which again looks exactly the same as the 2017 model, a power supply, and a remote control which is a newer style. I definitely prefer this one over the older looking one which was lighter and thinner. As for the hardware specs, the processor is the Tegra X1 Plus with a 256 core GPU and 3GB of main memory. Sound familiar? It also includes 16GB of storage on board. Apart from the apparent performance boost, this is identical to the 2017 model. But the Shield TV Pro does come with some technical upgrades including Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, and some really nice AI enhancing upscaling, but unfortunately these are for streaming and movies only. For our purposes, as far as playing emulators, they are not supported. So let's cut to the chase. The NVIDIA Shield TV Pro apparently offers a 25% performance boost over the older model. Let's see if this is actually true. For comparison, I took my old 2017 Shield TV and the 2019 current Shield TV Pro. Both are running the latest updates. On the 29 Shield TV Pro, Geekbench scores 4,255 points for the CPU and 2,982 points for the GPU. On the 2017 Shield TV, it scores 4242 for the CPU and 2960 for the GPU. Barely, if any, increase there at all. Next up, I tested 3D Mark. On the 27 Shield TV, we are scoring 4,200 points, and on the 29 Shield TV Pro, I'm seeing scores of over 4,400, so there is some slight improvement there. So where is the 25% so-called upgrade in performance? I'm not really seeing it from the benchmarks that we've run. Maybe the memory clocks have been increased, but at the end of the day, this is not really something that provides any significant performance increase over the 2017 model. So for those people who own a 2017 Shield TV and are watching this video wondering if it's worth the upgrade, there's no reason for me to drag this on any further till the end. It will be exactly the same experience as you've seen before, but that experience, as you know, is very good. And for those people who have heard about the NVIDIA Shield TV and are wondering how well it runs emulators, well, you are in for a treat. The 2019 Shield TV Pro continues the legacy of the NVIDIA Shield TV line, with very fast performance and crisp visuals. This little device packs quite the punch, and we're going to take a look at some of the best emulators for the system. Let's start out with Dreamcast. By far my favourite one right now is Redream. It's been developed by Anthony Nolan, and in a relatively short amount of time has become one of the best emulators around. Redream has a high level of compatibility with over 80% of the full Dreamcast library of games that are able to be completed from start to finish. It's also very simple to use. You don't even need to provide an official Dreamcast BIOS, it's emulated via HLE. On the NVIDIA Shield TV Pro, performance is excellent, everything runs at 60 frames per second, and I haven't come across a game where even the frame rate dips slightly. There's also two versions of Redream, the Lite version and the Premium version, and the Lite version doesn't annoy you to keep upgrading to the Premium version, which is a nice touch. But if you decide that you want to upgrade to the Premium version, you get some cool features including high definition rendering for super crisp visuals. If Redream isn't your thing, then Raycast is an excellent emulator as well. We covered it on last year's video, either as a standalone version or via RetroArch. It also runs at a high level of compatibility with excellent frame rates, but it needs a little more to configure as you need to provide a Dreamcast BIOS. But either way, you get the idea. The Shield TV Pro is outstanding for Dreamcast, and I recommend it. One of the most compelling reasons to own a Shield TV Pro is Dolphin, the popular GameCube and Nintendo Wii emulator. The Android port has become quite stable, and it's being updated almost daily. And just like last year, it runs great on the Shield TV Pro. Many games run at full speed or close to it, including Mario Kart Double Dash, Luigi's Mansion, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Smash Bros. It also takes full advantage of an Xbox 360 gamepad and includes rumble support. Many games run great under Dolphin, but it's not perfect, far from it in fact. Some games just run too slow, as they did on the older NVIDIA Shield, and this is due to the complexity of the emulation that's necessary. Things like the Factor 5 LucasArts games or Eternal Darkness won't run at all. On the other hand, Time Splitters 2 runs at 60 frames per second, but Time Splitters 3 runs at 5 frames per second. The emulator continues to improve over time, and things will only get better. I do wish that the new Shield TV Pro had a significant performance increase from the 2017 model. But overall, it's still so awesome to see GameCube games running on this tiny device that packs a ton of power, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for the Dolphin emulator on Android going forward. Emulating the Sega Saturn can be extremely complicated, and it's something that I'll probably cover in an up-and-coming episode. Traditionally, you need a fast PC to get good performance out of Saturn emulation, but Android has a trick up its sleeve. The excellent emulator Yabusan Shiro. Yabusan Shiro is the Android-focused fork of Yabause and has many optimizations that utilizes the GPU in order to boost performance. The result is easily one of the most impressive emulators that I've used. The Sega Saturn library of games is expensive, and this is one of the best ways to experience it. Yabusan Shiro is an all-round excellent emulator, and being able to run at full speed Sega Saturn games on a Tegra X1 is a very impressive feat. Emulating the Nintendo 64 has always been interesting. I covered the earliest emulator running on a 233MHz PC back in 1998, known as Ultra HLE. Yet it seems like many ARM-based devices like the Raspberry Pi, even in 2019, struggled to run Nintendo 64 games very well. The good news is that Mupen Plus 64 on the Shield TV Pro is excellent. Not only does it have a high compatibility of games including the hard-to-emulate Factor 5 releases such as Rogue Squadron, it also supports things like texture packs and more. The performance is fast, as the NVIDIA Shield TV Pro handles Nintendo 64 quite well, and it's one of the best ways to experience N64 games if you don't have access to original hardware. And then we have the Sony PSP. This is very well emulated thanks to PPSSPP, a quite mature emulator that's been around for many years now, which has a fast and very well optimized Android port with many features. As with all the best emulators, this one is very simple to use, just plug and play. But there are a ton of advanced features to really dial in the settings that you want. There's a ton to cover here, and it's out of scope for this video, but just know that PSP emulation on the Shield TV Pro is top quality and a must-have emulator installed on your system. Now, there's still a ton of emulators that we can cover on this video, but I want to round out with EPSXE, the PlayStation emulator for Android. It's a port of the famous PC version of EPSXE, and it runs at a very high compatibility at over 99%, has excellent speed and great sound. While this emulator is one that you must pay for, I don't really think it's a big deal. It's definitely worth the cost because of the compatibility and the speeds. The emulator is pretty damn awesome. It runs at 60 frames per second on everything that I've thrown at it, except for some slowdown on Tekken 3, which is one of those games that seems to tax a lot of different systems for some reason. But otherwise, everything else seems to run extremely well, and I'm very happy that there is some good quality PlayStation 1 emulation running on the NVIDIA Shield TV, especially after the disaster that we saw of the PlayStation Classic around this time last year. Now, this is just a sample of the emulators that you can run on the NVIDIA Shield TV, but obviously these are the ones that would tax the system the most. There's a very wide range of selection out there, including RetroArch, as well as many 8 and 16-bit console and computer emulation that runs extremely well, as you would expect. So, in conclusion, my final thoughts about the NVIDIA Shield TV Pro is this. If you already own a 2017 or indeed a 2015 NVIDIA Shield, then there's no reason to upgrade to this. You're not going to see any significant performance differences at all. In fact, it's going to be pretty much the same as you're already used to, so there's really no reason to upgrade. Now, if you have not yet experienced an NVIDIA Shield and you are thinking about getting one, then 100% I can absolutely recommend this unit to anyone, but I will also say $199 is expensive, and I don't believe anyone should be paying that much for this unit. So the best thing you can do is hopefully wait for a holiday or a Christmas sale where the NVIDIA Shield TV Pro is reduced. And hopefully, if we go by last year, it was as low as $139. But if you see it for around like the $150 mark, shipped in the US, then I would say absolutely jump all over. I think it's a great price for $150. For $199, I would say absolutely not. It's just too expensive. But just wait for the inevitable price drop. I think you'll have a really awesome experience with it. I love this device, and it's something that I use a lot. I actually travel with it myself and take it on the road with me when I want to play games. It's very easy and practical just to plug into anything. And it's really powerful to play some of the more advanced emulators, and a handheld like the PlayStation Vita or Nintendo Switch just doesn't have the horsepower to run some of the more powerful emulators. Now, before I go, once again, I'm giving away this NVIDIA Shield TV Pro to one lucky winner shipped anywhere in the world as a gift from me to you. So click on the competition link in the description below, and good luck. I'll be drawing the winner in 2 weeks. Well guys, we're going to leave it here for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, you know what to do. Leave me a thumbs up. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye for now.